All right, everybody, welcome out to another episode of Windshield Time at Mountainland Supply. I am Joey. I'm joined, as always, by Spencer C. Shorts.
That's me.
11 good words.
That is a lot to think about right now on the top of it.
Okay, good. And we are joined by Jasper Puffer. Welcome, bud.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Middle name?
Douglas.
Douglas. You had that ready in a holster.
I did, yep.
You are an avid windshield timer.
Oh, yeah, he's my grandpa.
Douglas. That's good. JDP.
J.
Huh?
JDP.
Did I say J? I thought it sounded like G, didn't it?
You did say G.
I did?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go to like AI on that one and see what it translates to on YouTube.
Sure, we can do that.
JDP. That's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. It's better than Jibble.
Yeah,
That's
not
mine.
too bad.
Pride of Milford / Eagle Mountain. How old were you when you moved to Eagle Mountain?
Oh, about 6.
6?
Yeah,
So you
6
don't
or
really
7.
remember Milford?
No. Probably a good thing. I don't think we're welcome there.
No puffers are welcome.
No, we're done.
Okay. Dad worked on the railroad.
Yep.
And then did he work in Eagle Mountain? Like what?
No,
took
so
you to
my
Eagle
parents
Mountain?
so
They
my
split
parents
up,
got
right?
divorced, yep.
Yeah.
So moved out to Eagle Mountain with my mom. She
Eagle
worked
Mountain.
in the healthcare industry, and and Dad just kind of is my dad.
What did she do in the healthcare industry?
Home health, hospice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, she goes back to Washington, D.C. all the time.
She's still around?
Mm-hmm.
Still does it?
Yep.
Still working?
Yep.
Good for her. That is a special person.
Oh, yeah. There's no way. Getting close to everybody that you know is going to pass.
Oh, man. I have several of my family members in special education. Same thing. Special people, man.
Yeah.
Just patience of Job. And I got zero of that patience.
Me too.
It's a good thing toilets came my way because I was not going to be any use with anything that needed patience.
Nope.
And Jasper, you work currently in sales in drilling.
Yep.
But what brought you to Mountainland?
Travis Shores.
Travis.
Yep. He was my salesman for 10 years.
That's yeah.
Yep.
And the beard.
Yeah.
You knew that we were bearded people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Makes
beard
sense.
used to be long, but
You've been how long you been trimming it?
since I got this job.
Really?
Yeah.
It was long. Is it long when we hired you?
No, I actually shaved it for my interview with Jim.
Completely shaved?
Yeah, not completely shaved, but like down to here.
Okay. 'Cause
Before it was down to like my belly button.
I never remembered you with long beard.
Yeah.
Did you think we were like uppity and we needed you to be cleaner?
I looked homeless, so I'm not like you guys. Like keep it all nice and pretty, you know.
This is not pretty.
Oh, it is.
In fact, I woke up this morning and I contemplated trimming up, and I quickly got past that. I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, me too.
Did you? Is that as long as yours can get?
I mean, it can get longer. I just don't like it.
I'm jealous
Too
of your
straggly?
hair. So
Yeah, the hair's fine.
Yeah, I love the hair.
If you had a beard, I mean, we can just dismiss the Jesus references, but you would be one hairy dude.
Thank you.
You can take that as a compliment.
yeah.
Absolutely. So Travis recruits you,
Yep.
and you've been here for how long?
Just over 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you immediately started with at least most of Travis's account list, right? Because he went into management at the time? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your territory that you cover?
So I got one guy down in Cedar City still.
Yeah.
Just because me and him are super close, and
Yeah.
he asked if I would stay on with him.
Relationships or
Yeah.
everything?
And then so pretty much Santaquin to Logan,
Yeah.
kind of.
That's not terrible.
No, it's great. I love it.
You still put a ton of miles on the truck, though.
Oh, 65,000 miles in 13 months.
Wild, man.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
How many on your new truck?
That's 65,000.
Like, boom.
Yeah.
Dang, bud.
Yeah.
You can't even write those off anymore.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you used to be able to. Back when I was selling, I would do about 70,000 a year, and I
Yeah.
could write all those off. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
for
I
your taxes.
started an LLC, so I can kind of.
Yeah, well played.
Yeah.
Well played. Yeah, ever since, I think it was the first Trump administration, they created that single deduction thing,
Mm-hmm.
kind of hosed the sales guys.
Yep.
But they're still Trump fans, most of them.
Oh, yeah.
So it works out.
Yeah.
Horizontal directional drilling.
Yep. Started as a summertime job. Then I went to Snow College.
Isn't that weird?
I realized that college wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So my boss called me one night. He's like, "Hey, buddy, you want your job back?" Loaded my truck up from snow and came back to work.
What were you going into?
I actually want to be an FFA advisor.
Really?
Yeah.
Pride of the FFA,
Yeah,
huh?
big FFA kid.
I just barely, I spoke at their state convention.
That's awesome.
That was a big deal.
Yeah.
I was shocked with how, so I was in the FFA, but I never really, I mean, I was in it because I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
It was an easy A for me, and
Yep.
it was science credit. So I never really did the parliamentary stuff. I never had the velvet jacket, none of that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Corduroy jacket. So I never had any of that stuff. So that was my first exposure to one of those state conventions. It was huge.
Yeah, the state convention's cool, but going back east
To Louisville? Is that
yeah.
where they do it?
Mm-hmm. So I went back there 3 times, but I got my American degree the last time.
Now you're big into welding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a little bit about what your project was for FFA.
Yeah.
But tell the people, because I know they want to know.
So when everyone gets rid of boats, right, they
Yeah.
just go to the junkyard and scrap the boat, and then
Yeah.
they don't know what to do with everything else. So I'd pick up the beat up trailers, and turn them into flatbeds and sell them.
That is freaking awesome.
Yeah. So to be able to get your American degree, you have to raise over 10 grand.
Yeah.
So either raise it for the school or for yourself. So
Yeah.
that's what I did junior and senior year.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So did you have a shop at your house, or did you use a
did
school
it at
shop?
the school. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So how many trailers did you have to turn to make that money?
Oh, dude, it was easy.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get a trailer for like $200 and flip it for $1,000.
Really?
And I put $100 worth of work into it.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah, this is done. It
That
was
is
easy.
awesome. You still tinker with welding?
No. Now I tinker with side by sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You weld on your side by sides?
No. I just have to fix all the broken parts.
Yeah, that happens.
It does
when
you're having
you're
fun.
rough on stuff.
Yeah.
What side by side do you have?
I got the Razor Pro R.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? You and Benji go out a little bit.
Yeah. We actually met up down in Glamis. That was
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
He said that was an awesome trip.
Yeah, it was cool.
So, how much time do you spend on the side by side?
As much as I can.
As many weekends as
Yeah.
possible. Yeah.
I've probably been out to sand dunes already like 10, 15 times.
Really?
Yeah.
So we already talked about this pre-recording, but you're 11 days from having some of that changed.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So you're going to be dad for the first time.
Yep. Little girl.
Little girl, Monroe.
Yep.
Am I not supposed to say that?
No,
Your
you're
wife gonna
good.
Be pissed
Oh,
at
no,
me?
no.
Okay, please don't be pissed at me.
Oh.
If I outed a name. Yeah, I know that's
No.
very important to some people.
Not us.
I don't want to piss them off.
Yeah.
So did you get a booster seat and stuff all figured out for that?
Oh, man. There's so much stuff we have.
Is there?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys live in Salem.
Mhm.
How long you been in Salem?
Since 2020.
Okay.
So I traveled on the pipeline a lot.
Yeah.
So when I married my wife, I moved her out of Spanish for the first time in 27 years.
Yeah.
She lived there. And got married August 10th. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. August 10th. And
You almost missed that.
I did. And I was gone for a whole year straight.
Really?
Yep. So she moved out, Spanish Fork, lived on her own for a year, and she was like, "I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done." So
Yeah.
that's when we built in Salem. Thought I was gonna hate it. Turns out I love it.
So you were gone for a full year. Were you roughnecking?
No. So we were on the HDD side of it all.
Okay,
So
but
like,
you still selling the oil fields and
yeah.
stuff? Okay.
Yep. So then when I was in Utah, I was doing all the big high pressure gas lines for Dominion. Questar, Dominion, now Enbridge.
Yeah.
So.
My brother-in-law works for Enbridge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I always give him crap for working for Canadians. Which, who cares? The check's cash,
Yep.
so who cares, right?
Yep.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to see the world. I had an owner at the time. He let a young kid with a lot of responsibility,
Yeah.
so it was cool.
Yeah. I mean, you earned that
I did.
trust, though.
I did for
Yeah.
sure. Yep. We had 40 guys at our peak. Yeah. It was a lot,
Yeah, that is a lot.
but it was good.
Were you managing all 40 guys?
was, yep.
Jeez. That's a lot.
Yeah. He gave me reins when I was 23 years old
Wow.
over everybody. So
That's amazing.
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's really cool. So you worked for another company, came to Mountainland. What was the appeal outside of Travis that you knew him and trusted him?
Uncapped commission, if I'm being honest.
Sure, absolutely. Be honest.
So I got told I was topped out.
Mm.
You don't tell a young kid they're topped out.
You don't tell a sales guy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was it. Travis actually talked to me about it like I don't know, 2 years before then about going into sales. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not a sales guy, Trav. No way.
Little did you
No
know
way.
it was your calling.
Yeah. So then he called me when the B&B transition happened, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, just so you know, we got bought out. Everything's going to stay the same.
Yeah.
But do you know someone, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, me.
Yeah.
That was like right after I got told I was topped out.
You were ready to roll.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And so I actually interviewed with Alex
Yeah.
first, and they wanted me to move to Idaho.
Okay.
And,
For pumps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just can't do that with my wife. Like,
You've been down that road.
well, I was trying to be a husband for the first time. I was actually home.
Mighty good of you.
Yeah. Well, I struggled with it for a while.
Well, I believe it. It's a hard transition.
It is, man. You go like living in a hotel
Yeah.
my whole life, last 10 years, and actually going home and actually have to like help out around the house
Yeah.
and stuff. But it's been the best thing. So that kind of didn't work. And then Travis called me again. He's like, hey, I think I'm going to take a role.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to come in and talk with us? So
that's when it worked out.
yeah.
That is crazy.
It was crazy. And getting Travis's accounts is like, it's hard to gain trust with someone when they've worked with one person for 20 years.
Yeah, it is.
So everyone thinks it was super easy, but
It's a high bar.
And Travis is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys met Travis before the acquisition, but
I hadn't, no.
I cut wherever Travis went is where I bought from.
Yeah.
He's good.
He's amazing. He's such a hard worker.
Yeah.
And he bleeds for his customers.
Oh, he does.
When we first kind of went through that purchase, I wasn't shocked with everything that he was doing, but I mean, driving, loading, pulling. I mean, he did literally everything.
Yeah.
Up until he threw stuff on a semi and took it out himself. Which, if you're a customer, that means a lot to you.
Oh yeah.
Knowing that a guy will take care of everything from soup to nuts for you.
Yep.
Yep.
So we do a lot of that still.
Yeah.
Like I have to, like, and it's not a have to, right, per se, but for the drilling industry, like they don't really plan stuff out, at all. It's more like, hey, we're here now. Bring us pipe.
Respond
like now.
Yeah.
So
well, to be fair, most of the time they don't have a large staging area.
No.
When they're doing HDD stuff, so they can't just say, well, in 6 months we're going to need this, so put it in this yard. They're working on streets and they don't know where they're going to be the next day.
Yep. Exactly.
So I totally understand that.
Yeah. It's good though.
But that's a good thing too for us because as Mountainland, we've always kind of relied on our inventory.
Yeah.
And, having stuff for the customer, we take on that burden so they don't have to take it on themselves.
Yep.
So, the HDD, that's, I think, why it married up so well with what we do and how we do it.
Oh, it does.
Because we're kind of that same company.
Yeah. Especially now that we're stocking stuff kind of all over the state.
Yeah.
Like we can usually get someone taken care of within a couple hours.
Yeah, you can pull from everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you know Van, too?
So I knew Van just for when I would like come in.
Yeah.
Right? And he was the most respectful person.
Such a good man.
He'd come up, give me a big hug, like we've been best friends for years.
Yeah.
Just a good person.
Big dude, big heart.
Oh, yeah. The first time I met Van,
Van.
I did not expect to see that tall of a person.
Oh, man.
Like, whoa.
Yeah. He's a big person.
Yeah. And he works.
Oh, man. He would, when we first did that purchase, he'd send me texts and emails at 3:30, 4 in the morning.
Yep.
Which, either I was up or I wasn't up. It didn't matter to him. He's just like, I got to get through this stuff. So I'm going to bombard you with whatever I have. But you quickly learn, like, that's just him.
Yeah.
And he didn't require a lot of sleep. He just worked.
Yeah. He built something up twice.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
It's super impressive. Yeah. Built a business, sold it, built a business, sold it.
Mm-hmm.
But he was so giving and such a big-hearted person.
Yeah, you would have no idea. Like, if you saw Van on the street,
you'd never know he's as successful as he was. Yeah, he's a great person.
Yeah.
And then that kind of culture echoed through all of B&B.
Absolutely. I don't think he would have sold to anyone but a company like this.
Yeah.
Right?
No, he mentioned that several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and I got to be pretty close
Nice.
through the whole transition. He's a great man. I hold him in high esteem.
Yeah, so do I. And like I said, I don't have like a super close bond with him, but I respected him to what he made.
Yeah.
And how he reacted to me every time I walked in the door.
Yeah. Yeah, you were a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the way I always felt too. So HDD, kind of tell people what it is. Like if you could put it in like a elevator speech.
So horizontal directional drilling, best way to describe it is putting in an underground utility, and it can be all of them, right?
Yeah.
We've done sewer, on grade, everything from
Yeah.
that to whatever you need with as least impact as you possibly can.
Environmentally.
Yep. Instead of trying to shut down a whole road or anything, right? You're only going to shut down a small part.
Right.
Or you don't even have to shut down the road because they're going to set on the opposite side of the road.
Put it be on the shoulder.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we could drill within the hundredths of an inch.
It's crazy.
It is.
Yeah, that
It's nuts.
technology is so awesome.
Yeah, 300, 400, 100 feet deep. Did a couple 4,000 foot long bores. Like,
Wild.
yeah. People think it's insane, which it is insane in its own sense, right?
Yeah.
But you're still just going to put pipe in the ground.
It's an extremely complex thing.
Yeah.
But it's super simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you're just trying to get one utility from one place to another.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
like you said, be it sewer, water,
gas, power,
telecom,
yep.
whatever it is.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so for those who have seen those machines on the side of the road,
Yep.
it's the one that is appearing to be digging into the shoulder and has a pipe sticking out of it.
Yep. And it's either normally orange or yellow.
Yeah.
Those are going to be the two drills you see.
And it's kind of our industry period is kind of overlooked.
Yeah.
You know, when you tell people what you do, they're like, "Oh, well, that must be fun for you." You know, they don't realize that it's like everything you use goes through a pipe.
Yep.
You know,
everything.
That water you're drinking out of your faucet, that went through a pipe.
Yep.
All the Wi-Fi you're using, eventually that came through a pipe. It wasn't always over the air. You know? So yeah, it's
and everything's going that way too.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to drop everything underground.
Yeah, all those overhead wires, those are going underground.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is great for us.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, is it still $14 billion or something like that that's being invested?
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, $14 trillion.
Yeah, so the Facebook and everyone like that, it's got like $500 billion just awarded to them through
Unreal.
Trump.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. The BEAD funding's kind of hit a snag, you know, so we don't really even think about that now.
What's the snag?
They have to pay taxes on it now.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
free money's a lot easier than taxed money.
Yep. And then Starlink got awarded like I don't know, a lot of it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is cool.
Yeah. And it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It's fast, it's easy, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Than trying to run a piece of pipe that far.
I think there's room for both.
There is absolutely room for both because Starlink will never be as fast.
Yeah.
Ever.
You're always going to have the pickup, the upload, download that's going to be slower over the air. It's just going to be.
Exactly. The power world for us, though, is where it's at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what has carried us through the telecom kind of slowing down.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Power's where it's at.
So, which kind of utilities are you working with the most?
Power for sure. So PVC, we sell a lot of PVC, fiberglass elbows, the open trench guys, and then into the HDD guys, a bunch of HDP, black with red stripe.
Yeah,
it's pretty much what we sell.
There's it. I didn't realize when we first looked at the acquisition of B&B, we were like, okay, this marries right up with our pumps, right?
Yeah,
and that's what it was the impetus for us even looking at the business. And then as soon as we bought it and we started implementing it in the company, we're like, this is like right down the same alley as our waterworks.
Yep.
And much closer related.
Yeah.
And it was weird that we didn't see that from the beginning, but that's where it ended up being. You know? It still has a lot to do with drilling, you know, with pumps.
Yeah, when it comes to like the mud and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but all of your guys work with our guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Same contractors.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. So if you were to talk to somebody who's looking for an opportunity in the company, you know, a driver, a counter salesperson, what would be some things that would kind of help them get pre-qualified to make a move into HDD?
Be willing to learn.
Yeah.
That would be the first
number
thing
one.
I would say. Yep.
Yep.
Don't be scared to ask. You know, be like, hey, what does this do? Like, explain to me, right?
Yeah.
And if you have issues with something, you know, just say something like, hey, like, I don't understand why we do this.
Yeah.
You know, and then just go that way because it's pretty easy to learn.
Yeah.
You know, at least for me, it is. And I think everyone thinks it's hard.
Yeah.
But everyone tries to make everything hard. And I'm like,
That's
let's
true.
just calm down.
We
It's easy.
complicate things a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Mountainland is special in that way. You know, like no one should be scared to ask.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so much room for growth here. It's insane.
Yeah.
So just be willing to learn, and accept it.
Yeah.
You know.
So, I mean, I say this often about sales. You know, make yourself somebody's project.
Yeah.
And they'll invest in you forever.
Yep.
The same thing goes inside the doors.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, if somebody wants to learn about HDD, they should call you.
Yep.
They should call Travis and make themselves a little bit of your project.
There's a few people here who have called me like, I just want to learn.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I will help you out every day.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because at some point you don't want to have to do it forever.
no.
You know,
Mm-mm.
you want to be able to pass on some knowledge to somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I love coming here, right? Because before I had to only help who I worked for out.
Right.
And now I get to go out on job sites, help everyone out. And
Yeah.
they love it.
And that's what a salesman at Mountainland is really just a problem solver.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Yep.
it's not a traditional like, oh, I got a hot lead, I'm going to go pounce on it, sell it, and then never see him again.
Yep.
No, you're solving problems for customers. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. And then they turn into lifelong friendships.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's probably one of my favorite parts about my job right now
Yeah.
is that I've met some of the best friends I could ever think of.
Yeah.
So.
It's fun. The customer base is so willing to, number one, teach you, number two, learn from you, but they want a friend forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Absolutely.
So they'll invest in you too.
Yep.
Yeah, I love our customers.
Oh, I do too.
They're so good.
It's cool.
Blue collar, do anything for you, shirt off their back. And similar to Van Bonnie, you wouldn't know that these guys are multimillionaires.
Oh, absolutely
that
not.
are out there. It's just they just do their thing.
Yep.
They're just out there building a business and looking for some help to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, thanks for coming in. Man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I
Was this
worried.
as bad as you thought it was going to be?
I don't think I stuttered too much. But
You
we'll
didn't
see.
stutter at all. Man. you were freaking awesome. Any parting shots you want to say to anybody?
I'm good.
You are good.
Yeah, life's good, man.
No, I couldn't be happier to have you here, man. You are a good man.
I appreciate
So
it.
if anybody tells you different, tell them to come talk to me. I'll back you up. George, you want to say anything?
Yeah, Travis, you better be careful because you're getting on this podcast soon.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, Trav.
Good.
Listen, Trav, you're coming on. Okay, well, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks everybody out there, and enjoy the ride. We'll see you down the road.